Finally, another Team Affinity drop in MLB 25, and this one is a really good one in my opinion, and I want to go over the 10 cards that really caught my eye and who I think are the best cards in this Team Affinity drop, plus go over a couple other things regarding the Neon Team Affinity content. So the first thing I want to mention, because I know some people might forget about this, and it is important, is that these Neon Team Affinity cards will actually be captain cards and will boost cards on your team that are on the same team as that Team Affinity card. And some of the boosts are going to be better than others, but definitely something to keep in mind when you're building out your team. So my plan for completing all these programs is super simple, and I'm literally just going to be focusing on a couple of the PXP missions, and for one team, I will load my lineup with past Team Affinity boss cards from that team, and also all of my hitters will be from that same team as well. And if you need more pitchers to use while grinding these couple PXP missions, I would use pitchers from a different MLB team that are also the past Team Affinity boss cards and start working on the pitching PXP mission and boss PXP missions from that other team. And as you work on that, there's a good chance you hit some of the stat missions as well, and you might not have to do the moment. Otherwise, if the moment is super easy, then you could just finish the program off and unlock that Neon Team Affinity card just by doing that moment super quickly. So that's how I think I will be approaching these programs. Obviously, play however you want, complete these however you want. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on how I'm going to approach that. Now I want to give you guys the 10 players who I think are the best and who I'm going to prioritize getting first in this Team Affinity drop. And it's going to be in no particular order, so I'm just going to list the 10. And starting off with Lance Berkman from the Astros. He's got a bunch of quirks, dead red, maybe the best of the bunch here, but he does have a handful of quirks there. And he's going to, the boost is actually, I think, pretty good on him. Yeah, +5 contact, right, left. Batting clutch +5, which is obviously very important. And then for pitchers, +5 hit per 9, also important. So very good boosts on him. He obviously is a switch hitter. I like that. First base, you probably want him at just because of his speed. Not going to be the greatest in the field either, but good enough at first base. And as I said before, switch hitter, which you have to love. He's going to be maxed out against righties. He's going to have maxed out clutch. He's still, pretty good against lefties, good enough to make this card a very, very good option there at first base for you. If you want Lance Berkman, I definitely recommend trying him out. Moving on to the next card is the best name in all of baseball, probably all of sports, Jesus Made. And I know that's not how you actually pronounce it, but great name nonetheless. And personally, this is probably my favorite card, and I think maybe the best card of the drop. I am a Brewers fan, so maybe a little biased, but he can do everything, literally. He can play short, second, third, pretty much anywhere in the infield. He's going to have 99 speed at P4, maxed out steal already, very good in the field. He's going to be 100 plus all across the board as far as his hitting attributes go, switch hitter as well. This card is fantastic. I would definitely recommend you guys pick up this card really as soon as possible. This is going to be really, really good shortstop option. And even if you have someone better at short or have someone you really like at short, you can play him at a different position in the infield. Definitely a super good card right there. Connor Griffin is the next one of the Pirates, and he looks pretty nasty too. He maxed out speed, maxed out steal, nearly maxed out at P5 fielding, 100 plus across the board for his hitting attributes. So a lot of this very similar to the last card we just went over, although Connor Griffin does play slightly different positions as far as secondary go, as he can play any position in the outfield. He is a shortstop at his primary position, but this is going to be a ton of fun to use this card. Really excited to check this card out. Probably those might be my first 2 cards that I unlock and have those kind of maybe as my middle infield maybe. Definitely looking forward to that. Next one, though, another middle infield option is Ozzie Albies. And I probably would just play him at second base with that arm strength that he has only at 60. But switch hitter, all those hitting attributes are going to play. And he's got, basically maxed out clutch. He's got maxed out contact left. I'm going to absolutely love this card. I always think Ozzie Albies cards play really well, too. 83 speed off the bat right there without any parallels. Very good defender as well. Like I said, just that arm strength, not really there, but not the end of the world at second base right there. So an option at second base if you need one. Ozzie Albies definitely checks that box. Moving on to another one, we got a lot of National League players right here sticking with that. The Giants, Willie Mays. He's got some good quirks. He's got, I think, a lot of quirks, I believe. Yeah, I mean, he's got unfazed, dead red, probably a couple of the best ones. Handful of other perks right there. Just a really good all-around card. Like, there's really nothing you can point to that this card doesn't do well. Like, the speed and the steal is there. I mean, it's truly a 5-tool player right here in Willie Mays. And I would play him anywhere in the outfield. You don't just have to play him at center. He's going, with how high his defense is, he's got diamond defense right away. You can play him in left, you can play him in right, just wherever you need him. But very good all-around card, Willie Mays. I usually like, I kind of like Willie Mays cards too, typically. So definitely a good one to try out. Bobby Abreu is next. Another outfield option right here. More quirks, unfazed dead red. We like to see that. And yeah, I mean, just a really good card that people, I don't know, maybe people might not sleep on, but like he's going to be able to steal bases. He's got good defense. He's very, very good against righties, maxed out clutch. Still will play very much so against lefties. Yeah, I mean, pretty similar to Willie Mays in that, like, there's nothing you can really point to that this card doesn't do at a really high level. So definitely recommend Bobby Abreu. If you're looking for another outfield option, I know Willie Mays was one too, but those might be the only two, if I remember correctly, outfield options, at least primary ones. And then let's go actually to a pitcher now, because there's not many pitchers in here that I really liked, but one is Hunter Green. And I think this might be Hunter Green's best card that we may have ever seen. He does have Outlier 1 on that four-seam fastball, so he's going to be hitting 101, 102, maybe even 103 on that fastball. 5-pitch mix, which is really good for him. He's got the sinker, little change of pace from that fastball. He's got the splitter, slider, slurve as well, and the hit per 9, the pitching clutch maxed out. All of those are going to play, I mean, essentially maxed out hit per 9 once you parallel them up to 5. Already maxed out pitching clutch. You got to love that. BB9, high enough to where like he's going to be able to hit his spots for the most part. So this is, like I said, might be the best Hunter Green card we've seen. So definitely recommend, if you guys need a pitcher from this drop, I think Hunter Green's your guy. He definitely will be for me, will be the first pitcher that I pick up from this Team Affinity drop. So once again, we're going to stick in the National League, and I think there's only been one American League card that we've actually gone over so far, and we're going to stay in the NL Central. Gone over pretty much all the teams from the NL Central, by the way, but that's the Cardinals, JJ Weatherholt, and another kind of shortstop, second base, third base option, but really high contact and clutch. I think the power is just good enough to make him, he's going to be able to hit that occasional home run. He's going to be hitting a lot in the gap, and with that speed at 86, even 84 steal, like you might be able to steal some bags with him as well. And then good fielding across the board. Again, another card that like there's just no weakness in this card, right? Like the power is good enough, I think, that you're going to be able to hit for a little bit of power here and there, but those contact, that clutch is going to be huge as well. And yeah, a left-handed bat, if you want a left-hander in that, shortstop, second base, third base role, up to you, or you can go with the switch hitting, Jesus made, whoever you want in that role, but that's another option. Now, I think Derek Jeter is worth mentioning here because he's going to be very, very good as well. And he's got some quirks, dead red, unfazed, some of those quirks right there that are going to be super helpful with this card. But he's going to have maxed out contact both sides, maxed out clutch. Yes, I guess you could say that the power is a little bit low, but I just think maxed out contact, maxed out clutch are the important things. He's got good enough power. You're going to be hitting lots of extra base hits with them, with also that 88 speed to go on top of that. And once you parallel, get those parallels up, he's going to have diamond defense as well. So this is just going to be a very good card. We've went over a lot of shortstops, a lot of middle infielders, but I think that one's worth mentioning because he is just very, very good. The final card I want to go over from the Rockies here, and I don't know, it's intriguing because he can play so many positions. Now, I will say that I do think, just because of his speed, I think first base, third base makes sense to play this guy at, not really the outfield. Contact right is only at 100, which still isn't bad, I guess. It's just quite a bit lower than the rest of his offensive attributes because the rest are just very, very good. He is pretty tall at 6'6", so whether you guys like tall hitters or not, is probably however, whether you want to pick this card up or not, basically, right? So up to you as far as if you like tall players or not, and that, having that big strike zone or not. But a good card nonetheless. He's got that positional flexibility. Really the biggest thing is just he's a little bit slow, but if you have him at first, you have him at third, he's going to play very well. But then all of these cards lead into the Neon Team Affinity collection, and at 15, which is not too bad actually, you get Al Leiter, and he is always a stud starting pitcher. Very good pitch mix. He's got that sinker, cutter, curve, slider, changeup mix. Very good speed differentials on his pitches. Very good mix. He's got 110 hit per 9, 116 pitch and clutch. He's got the stamina, K per 9. BB9 at a reasonable number right there. And yeah, I mean, like I said, always a really good card. And at only 15 cards, you're going to be able to get him pretty quickly. Lou Gehrig, he's got a bunch of quirks. Honestly, like probably all of them. Maybe he's missing one or two, but tons of quirks. But at the end of the day, he's a left-handed first baseman who's going to rake, which I feel like I maybe have a couple of those already. So like this is not necessarily a priority for me, but the next card, Brian Reynolds, certainly is, because this man is an absolute monster. I would say he's about as good as what Carlos Beltran is, or has been, right? Switch hitter, similar to Beltran, very good defender, 86 speed off the bat. At P5, he's going to be maxed out clutch or contact on both sides. He's already maxed out clutch, and those power numbers are also going to be there as well. This is just a really, really good card. And I think these collection rewards are overall pretty insane and honestly very worth going after. These will be some of the best cards that we have in the game as this drops. But yeah, let me know what Team Affinity cards you guys are going after, or if there's a player I didn't mention in this video who you think deserves a mention. Go ahead and drop those down in the comment section below. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the video. I do appreciate all of you guys for stopping by and watching this one. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.